Today I'm taking you on a journey through the fascinating history of Scotland. From ancient tribes to modern marvels, Scotland's rich tapestry of history is nothing short of captivating. Let's travel back to the early days. The land we now call Scotland was first settled by hunter-gatherers around 12,000 years ago. These early inhabitants left behind mysterious stone circles and burial mounds that still intrigue archaeologists today. Fast forward to the Iron Age, and we see the rise of the Celts. Known for their warrior culture and intricate art, the Celts established powerful clans and built massive hill forts. The Romans even attempted to conquer them, but only succeeded in building Hadrian's Wall to keep them at bay. Moving on to the Middle Ages, we encounter the legendary figure of William Wallace. Immortalized in the movie Braveheart, Wallace led a fierce resistance against English rule in the late 13th century. His bravery and tenacity have become symbols of Scottish independence. And who could forget the iconic Robert the Bruce? After Wallace, it was Robert the Bruce who took up the mantle, defeating the English at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. This victory was crucial in securing Scotland's status as an independent kingdom, but Scotland's story doesn't end there. The 16th century brought the turbulence of the Reformation, transforming the religious landscape. John Knox led the charge for Protestantism, forever changing how Scots worshipped and governed. Jumping ahead to the 18th century, we find the Enlightenment. Scotland became a hub for intellectual thought, with figures like David Hume and Adam Smith making groundbreaking contributions to philosophy and economics. Edinburgh earned the nickname the Athens of the North. In the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution transformed Scotland. Cities like Glasgow and Dundee became powerhouses of industry, driving economic growth and urbanization. And finally, let's not forget Scotland's role in the modern era. From the establishment of its own parliament in 1999 to the cultural resurgence seen in events like the Edinburgh Festival, Scotland continues to make its mark on the world stage. So there you have it, a whistle-stop tour through the rich and varied history of Scotland. Whether you're drawn to ancient mysteries or modern achievements, Scotland's story is one of resilience, innovation, and a fierce sense of identity. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring.
James IV of Scotland, a name that echoes through the annals of Scottish history, resonating with tales of valor, wisdom, and transformation. Born on March 17, 1473, he was the son of King James III and Margaret of Denmark. His birth marked the continuation of a royal lineage steeped in tradition and power. His lineage was a tapestry woven with the threads of two powerful houses, Bruce and Stuart, each contributing to his identity and future. From Robert the Bruce, he inherited a legacy of fierce independence and military prowess, a spirit that would guide his actions and decisions. From the Stuarts, he inherited a claim to the Scottish throne, a claim that would shape his destiny and the future of Scotland. James IV's early life was marred by political turmoil and uncertainty. Scotland in the late 15th century was a realm often plagued by internal strife, with noble factions constantly vying for power and influence. Noble factions jostled for power, creating a volatile environment. The young prince witnessed the instability firsthand, a stark education for a future king, shaping his understanding of leadership and governance. The death of his father, James III, in the Battle of Souchiburn in 1488, cast a long shadow over his accession to the throne, leaving a legacy of conflict and sorrow. Though crowned at the age of 15, James IV's grasp on power was initially tenuous, fraught with challenges and opposition. The specter of his father's demise lingered, a constant reminder of the fragility of power. He grappled with the challenges of a divided kingdom, striving to unite a fractured realm. Yet, within this youthful monarch lay the seeds of greatness, a potential that would soon flourish. He possessed a keen intellect, a thirst for knowledge, and a deep love for his country, qualities that would guide his reign. These qualities would come to define his reign, transforming him from a boy king into one of Scotland's most remarkable monarchs, remembered for his wisdom, courage, and enduring legacy. The young James IV inherited a kingdom rife with internal divisions, a land where loyalty was often fleeting and alliances were fragile. The powerful Scottish nobility, often at odds with the crown, posed a significant challenge, their ambitions and rivalries threatening the stability of the realm. The memory of his father's death at the hands of rebellious lords weighed heavily upon him, a constant reminder of the dangers that lurked within his own court. He understood the precarious nature of his position, knowing that any misstep could lead to his downfall. To secure his reign, James IV needed to consolidate power and assert his authority, a task easier said than done in a land fraught with discord. He embarked on a series of royal progresses throughout the realm, traveling far and wide to make his presence felt. These journeys were not merely symbolic gestures, but strategic moves to strengthen his grip on power. They allowed James IV to establish his presence, to listen to the grievances of his subjects, and to dispense justice, thereby winning the loyalty of the common people. He understood the importance of being seen as a fair and just ruler, one who cared for the well-being of his people. His efforts to curb the power of the nobles while met with resistance were crucial in forging a more centralized monarchy, a kingdom where the king's word was law. The specter of rebellion continued to haunt the early years of James VI's reign, a constant threat that he could not ignore. In 1489, he faced an uprising led by the Earl of Lennox and Lord Forbes, a formidable challenge to his nascent rule. The rebellion, fueled by lingering resentment towards the crown, was a direct challenge to James VI's authority, a test of his resolve and leadership. The young king, demonstrating a decisiveness that belied his years, swiftly crushed the revolt, proving his mettle as a leader. The victory at the Battle of Talamas solidified his hold on the throne and sent a clear message. James IV would not tolerate any threat to his rule, establishing his reputation as a formidable and unyielding monarch. James IV possessed a forward-thinking vision for Scotland. He understood the need to modernize the kingdom's infrastructure, laws, and institutions. He embarked on an ambitious program of reforms, aiming to strengthen Scotland's position on the European stage. His efforts were not confined to the battlefield or the halls of justice. He recognized the importance of education, culture, and diplomacy in shaping a prosperous and influential nation. He established the College of Surgeons in Edinburgh in 1505. This forward-thinking institution aimed to regulate and improve the practice of surgery in Scotland. James IV's interest in medicine and science extended beyond mere patronage. He took a keen interest in the latest discoveries and advancements, earning a reputation as a Renaissance prince. James IV's reign witnessed a flourishing of the arts and culture. He was a patron of poets, musicians, and architects. He recognized the power of art to inspire, to elevate, and to reflect the glory of his reign. Under his rule, Scotland experienced a cultural awakening, embracing the spirit of the Renaissance that was sweeping across Europe. The construction of grand palaces, such as Falkland Palace and the Lithgow Palace, served as both symbols of royal power and centers of artistic and intellectual life. Section 4. The Flodden Legacy, a King's Final Battle and its Aftermath. The Battle of Flodden Field, fought on September 9, 1513, stands as a pivotal moment in James II's reign and in the history of Scotland. It was a conflict fueled by the complex web of Anglo-Scottish relations, a tapestry woven with centuries of rivalry, ambition, and bloodshed. James IV, bound by a sense of chivalry and perhaps a touch of recklessness, led his army south, crossing the border into England. The Scottish army, though numerically superior, was ultimately outmaneuvered by the English forces under the command of the Earl of Surrey. The Battle of Flodden was a resounding English victory, a crushing defeat for Scotland. Amidst the carnage, James IV met his end, struck down on the battlefield. His death sent shockwaves through Scotland, casting a pall over his many accomplishments. The aftermath of Flodden was a time of national mourning and uncertainty for Scotland. The loss of a king, particularly one as popular and influential as James IV, left a void in the kingdom. His infant son, James V, ascended the throne, but the regency that followed was marked by political instability. The defeat at Flodden had a profound impact on Anglo-Scottish relations, souring relations between the two kingdoms for years to come. Section 5. Patron of the Arts and Sciences Renaissance flourishes in Scotland. James IV's reign marked a period of remarkable cultural and intellectual growth in Scotland, a time when the nation began to embrace the broader European Renaissance movement. He was a true Renaissance prince, embracing the spirit of inquiry and innovation that characterized the era, and his court became a beacon of learning and creativity. His patronage extended to a wide range of disciplines, from literature and music to architecture and science, encouraging a flourishing of the arts that had never been seen before in Scotland. He recognized the power of knowledge to elevate his kingdom and to enhance his own prestige, understanding that a well-educated court could lead to a stronger, more enlightened nation. He established the first printing press in Scotland in 1507, a testament to his belief in the power of the written word and the importance of making information accessible. This innovation revolutionized the dissemination of information, making books and learning more accessible to a wider audience, and laying the groundwork for an educated populace. James VI's own intellectual curiosity knew no bounds, and he was constantly seeking out new knowledge and understanding. He was an avid reader, fluent in several languages, and deeply interested in subjects ranging from astronomy and alchemy to music and shipbuilding, reflecting the diverse interests of a true Renaissance man. James IV's court became a hub for artists, writers, and intellectuals from across Scotland and beyond, a melting pot of ideas and creativity. He welcomed foreign scholars and artists, eager to absorb new ideas and to expose his court to the latest trends in Renaissance thought, fostering an environment of cultural exchange and innovation. His patronage fostered a vibrant cultural scene in Scotland, leaving a lasting legacy on the nation's artistic and intellectual landscape, and inspiring future generations to continue this tradition of excellence. The echoes of his reign can be seen in the grand palaces, the soaring cathedrals, and the rich literary tradition that flourished under his rule, a testament to the enduring impact of his vision and leadership. Section 6. Diplomatic Intrigue, Navigating European Power Dynamics. James IV's reign coincided with a period of intense diplomatic maneuvering on the European stage. The late 15th and early 16th centuries witnessed the rise of powerful nation-states, each vying for dominance and influence. England, France, and Spain emerged as major players in this complex geopolitical game. Scotland, situated strategically on the northern edge of the British Isles, found itself caught in the cross-currents of these competing ambitions. James IV, a shrewd diplomat as well as a warrior king, recognized the importance of skillfully navigating these treacherous waters. He understood that Scotland's survival depended on forging alliances and playing the larger powers against each other. He maintained diplomatic relations with England, France, and the Holy Roman Empire, seeking to advance Scottish interests through a combination of diplomacy, strategic marriages, and, when necessary, military posturing. His marriage to Margaret Tudor, daughter of King Henry VII of England, in 1503 was a major diplomatic coup. This union, known as the Union of the Thistle and the Rose, held the promise of peace and stability between Scotland and England. However, the peace proved to be short-lived.
Hey there, history buffs. Welcome back to another exciting journey through time. Today, I'm diving into the fascinating world of Vikings in Scotland, a tale that spans centuries and is filled with adventure, culture, and transformation. You might think of Vikings as raiders and pillagers, but their legacy in Scotland is much richer and more complex. They were not just warriors, they were settlers, traders, and even farmers. Let's start with the Shetland Orkney Islands, the northernmost parts of Scotland. These islands were major Viking strongholds from the 8th century onwards. The Vikings established their presence there, creating a lasting impact on the local culture and landscape. The Norse influence is so strong that the Orkney and Shetland dialects still have traces of Old Norse words. This linguistic heritage is a testament to the deep-rooted Viking presence. Now, moving south to mainland Scotland, we see the Viking influence spreading further. The Vikings didn't just invade and leave. They settled and integrated into local communities, bringing with them their customs, traditions, and way of life. They became part of the local fabric, engaging in farming, trading, and even intermarrying with the native Scots. In places like Caithness and Sutherland, you can find ancient Norse ruins and artifacts that tell the story of this integration. These remnants offer a glimpse into the daily lives of the Viking settlers. These regions were once part of the Norse Kingdom of the Isles, which included parts of Scotland, Ireland, and the Isle of Man. This kingdom was a significant power in the medieval period. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Viking legacy in Scotland is the intermarriage between Vikings and the native Scots. These unions created strong familial and cultural bonds. This blending of cultures led to a unique hybrid society where Norse and Scottish traditions merged to create something entirely new and vibrant. You can even see this in the ancient manuscripts and sagas, which tell tales of Norse Gaelic warriors. These stories are a rich part of Scotland's literary heritage. Let's talk about some key figures who played pivotal roles during this era. One of the most famous is Thorfinn the Mighty, a formidable leader whose influence was felt far and wide. Thorfinn was the Earl of Orkney in the 11th century and one of the most powerful Viking rulers in Scotland. His reign was marked by both conflict and consolidation. His clashes with the Scottish king Macbeth, yes, the same Macbeth from Shakespeare's play, are legendary. These battles were not just about power, but also about control over strategic territories. Even Scotland's geography bears the mark of Viking influence. The rugged coastlines and strategic locations were ideal for Viking settlements. Many place names in Scotland have Norse origins, reflecting the areas where Vikings settled and thrived. For example, Wick in Caithness comes from the Old Norse word vik, meaning bay. This is just one of many examples of Norse linguistic influence. So, why does all this matter today? Understanding the Viking legacy in Scotland isn't just about history. It's about recognizing the diverse influences that have shaped modern Scotland. Appreciating this legacy helps us understand the rich multicultural fabric that makes up Scotland's identity today. It's a story of integration, adaptation, and cultural fusion. It's about appreciating the rich multicultural fabric that makes up Scotland's identity. Festivals, traditions, and even everyday life in Scotland are imbued with this diverse heritage. Next time you find yourself wandering through Scotland's rugged landscapes or exploring ancient ruins, remember the Vikings. Their influence is still visible in the land and culture. Their legacy is carved into the very soul of Scotland, from the language to the landmarks. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Vikings in Scotland as much as I did, sharing it with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more historical adventures. Your support helps us bring more fascinating stories to life. Until next time, keep exploring. There's always more history to uncover and more stories to tell.
The history of Scotland is a tapestry woven with threads of courage, ambition, and a relentless fight for freedom. This land, with its rugged landscapes and storied past, has been the stage for countless tales of heroism and defiance. At the heart of this narrative stand the kings of Scotland, the rulers. Hey everyone, if you're into history, you've probably heard of Marie Antoinette, the last queen of France before the French Revolution. But beyond the myths and the phrase, let them eat cake, which, spoiler alert, she never actually said, lies a tragic tale of a woman caught in the tides of political upheaval. Let's dive into the life of Marie Antoinette and uncover the human behind the historical figure. Born in 1755 in Vienna, Austria, Marie Antoinette was thrust into the world of politics and power plays at a very young age. At just 14, she was married off to the future King Louis XVI of France, moving to a foreign country, surrounded by strangers and steeped in court intrigues. Can you imagine being a teenager and dealing with that kind of pressure? Her early days at the French court were like something out of a fairy tale, filled with grand balls and extravagant fashion. But as the financial state of France deteriorated, so did the public's perception of Marie Antoinette. She went from being the beloved Dauphine to being dubbed Madame Déficit. The nation's problems were simplistically pinned on her, despite her relatively limited influence on political affairs. When the revolution gained momentum in 1789, the royal family situation turned from precarious to deadly. They made several attempts to escape, but were ultimately arrested. The level of animosity towards Marie Antoinette was so intense that she became a primary target for the radicals' ire, facing accusations ranging from treason to immorality. Her final days were nothing short of harrowing. In 1793, she was tried by the Revolutionary Tribunal. Despite her dignified defense, the outcome was predetermined. Marie Antoinette was executed by guillotine, her last moments a stark contrast to the opulent life she once led. As she approached the scaffold, she accidentally stepped on her executioner's foot, and her final words were an apology. "Pardon me, sir, I meant not to do it." Marie Antoinette's story is a vivid reminder of how history can be both cruel and compassionate, often remembering the symbols rather than the individual. Her life wasn't just a series of political events, it was a complex journey of a woman who faced extraordinary challenges and met a tragic end. Thanks for joining me in exploring the tragic tale of Marie Antoinette. Remember, history isn't just about events, it's about the people, their lives and their stories. See you in the next video where we'll uncover another fascinating chapter of the past. Stay curious, my friends.
Hey there, history buffs and royal enthusiasts. Today, I'm taking you on a verbal journey through the grand halls of the elusive Marie-Antoinette Palace. Imagine stepping through its opulent gates as we peel back the layers of time to uncover the secrets held within its walls. Built in the late 17th century, the Marie-Antoinette Palace was a marvel of its time, designed to showcase the wealth and power of its royal inhabitants. But more than just a home, this palace was a political stage where alliances were made, secrets were whispered, and destinies were shaped. Let's dive deeper. One of the most fascinating aspects of the palace is the so-called Whispering Gallery. Legend has it that this architectural feature was ingeniously designed to allow discreet conversations to travel over vast distances within the gallery, a tool for espionage during tumultuous political times. Imagine the conspiracies and plots that echoed through these corridors. Moving on, we can't discuss Marie-Antoinette Palace without mentioning its lavish gardens. Designed by renowned landscape architects of the time, these gardens were not just for beauty, they were symbolic, representing the control and order the monarchy sought to portray. Every hedge sculpted, every pathway designed with precision, each element had a meaning, a purpose intertwined with royal symbolism. But what about the parties, you ask? Oh, the opulence! The Marie-Antoinette Palace was famed for its extravagant balls and gatherings, drawing aristocrats from across the continent. Gowns that sparkled under chandeliers, music that filled the air, and dances that lasted until dawn. These were events where political games were played with a smile and a dance step. Despite its grandeur, the palace has its share of dark tales too. From ghost sightings of former monarchs wandering the halls to mysterious disappearances within its stone walls, the palace has stirred both awe and fear among those who tread its floors. Today, the Marie-Antoinette Palace stands as a testament to a bygone era, open to the public as a museum. As a visitor, you walk through rooms heavy with history, each artifact and portrait telling a story of power, intrigue, and beauty. It's a place where the past is always present, whispering to those who listen. And with that, our brief tour ends. But the stories of Marie-Antoinette Palace are endless. If walls could talk, oh, the tales they would tell. Thanks for joining me on this historical adventure. Until next time, keep...
Maria Antonia Josefa Johanna, more commonly known as Marie Antoinette, was born in Vienna, Austria in 1755. She was a member of the illustrious Habsburg dynasty, a family that had a significant influence on European history for centuries. She was the youngest daughter of Empress Maria Theresa, a formidable ruler, and Emperor Francis I, a man of great stature. Growing up in the opulent Hofburg Palace, Marie Antoinette was surrounded by luxury and privilege from a very young age. Her childhood was privileged, with a strong focus on education and preparing her for a future role in European politics. She was taught various subjects, including languages, music, and dance, which were essential for a princess of her standing. Her education was not just about academics, it was also about grooming her to be a diplomatic asset for her family. Little did she know her destiny lay beyond Austria's borders. Her life was about to change dramatically, taking her far from the familiar surroundings of her childhood. At the tender age of 14, Marie Antoinette was betrothed to Louis Auguste, the Dauphin of France. This engagement was not just a personal union, but a significant political maneuver designed to solidify the alliance between two powerful nations. This political union aimed to strengthen the alliance between France and Austria, two of the most influential powers in Europe at the time. The marriage was seen as a strategic move to ensure peace and cooperation between the two countries. Leaving her family behind, she embarked on a journey to a new home, a new language, and a new life. The transition was not easy, as she had to adapt to the customs and expectations of the French court, which were vastly different from those of her native Austria. Yet she faced these challenges with grace and determination, stepping into her role as the future Queen of France. Marie Antoinette's early years at Versailles were challenging. She was thrust into a world of opulence and grandeur, yet it was also a place filled with hidden dangers and unspoken rules. The French court was a world away from the Viennese court she knew. The customs, the language, and the expectations were all different, making her feel like an outsider in her new home. The strict etiquette, intricate social hierarchies, and constant scrutiny from courtiers proved difficult to navigate. Every move she made was watched, every word she spoke was analyzed, and every decision was judged. Marie Antoinette as Marie Antoinette. In 1774, upon the death of Louis XV, I became Queen of France at just 19 years old. It was a role that came with immense pressure and responsibility. Louis XVI as Louis XVI. My husband, Louis XVI, was a shy and indecisive ruler, often overwhelmed by the demands of the throne, leaving me to navigate the complexities of court life and politics largely on my own. I had to learn quickly, adapt to the ever-changing dynamics, and find my own way to assert influence and power within the court. As Queen, Marie Antoinette became known for her lavish lifestyle. She indulged in extravagant fashion, elaborate hairstyles, and lavish parties. Her spending, coupled with France's already struggling economy, fueled public discontent and earned her the nickname Madame Deficit, court lady as court lady. While Marie Antoinette enjoyed the pleasures of court life, the French people faced poverty and hardship. Peasant woman as peasant woman. The stark contrast between the Queen's opulence and the people's suffering created a dangerous divide and sowed the seeds of revolution. Section 4. The Storm Brews. As the 1780s progressed, France's economic situation worsened. Bad harvests, rising bread prices, and growing discontent among the peasantry created a tinderbox of unrest.
The extravagance of the monarchy, especially Marie Antoinette's spending, became a lightning rod for our anger.
The French Revolution erupted in 1789 with the storming of the Bastille. The monarchy, already weakened by its own excesses and the growing power of revolutionary ideals, found itself increasingly under threat.
Section 5. Revolution and Downfall. The French Revolution marked a turning point in Marie Antoinette's life. From the luxury of Versailles, she became a prisoner of the Revolution.
Our attempt to flee France in 1791 further eroded public support and sealed our fate.
In 1792, the monarchy was abolished and Louis XVI was executed.
Marie Antoinette was separated from our children and imprisoned. She faced a show trial, accused of treason and other crimes, and was ultimately condemned to death.
Section 6. A Legacy in Ruins. On October 16, 1793, Marie Antoinette was guillotined in Paris at the age of 37. Her execution was a public spectacle, witnessed by thousands who had gathered to see the former queen meet her tragic end. The event was not just the end of a life, but the culmination of years of political turmoil and social upheaval. Her death marked the end of an era and served as a stark reminder of the revolution's unforgiving nature. The fall of the monarchy and the rise of the republic were cemented in this single brutal act. It was a moment that encapsulated the intense emotions and radical changes sweeping through France.
My legacy remains complex and controversial. I am remembered in many different ways, and opinions about me are deeply divided. Some remember me as a tragic figure, a victim of circumstance caught in the throes of revolution, a queen who was perhaps misunderstood and maligned by history. While others view me as a symbol of extravagance and indifference to the plight of the French people, they see me as a representation of the excesses of the monarchy, disconnected from the suffering of the common folk.
Indeed, Marie Antoinette's life and death continue to evoke strong emotions and debates, as historians and the public alike grapple with her true legacy. Was she a scapegoat for the failures of a crumbling regime, or a genuine contributor to its downfall, reflecting the turbulent times in which she lived? The French Revolution was a period of immense change, and Marie Antoinette's story is inextricably linked to this transformative era. Her life and death remain a poignant chapter in the annals of history, symbolizing both the end of an old world and the birth of a new one. Cleopatra VII. Philopator, often simply referred to as Cleopatra, stands as one of history's most captivating figures. Her name evokes images of grandeur, intelligence, and a woman who defied the norms of her time to carve out a place in history that remains unparalleled. Her story, shrouded in intrigue and romance, has resonated through the ages, captivating generations with its blend of power, love, and tragedy. Cleopatra's life was a tapestry woven with threads of political acumen, passionate love affairs, and a relentless pursuit of power. She was not just a queen, she was a symbol of Egypt's enduring spirit. As the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, Cleopatra's reign marked the twilight of an era, witnessing the fall of the pharaohs and the rise of Roman dominance. Her leadership came at a time when Egypt was struggling to maintain its sovereignty against the encroaching power of Rome, a challenge that required both strategic brilliance and diplomatic finesse. Born in 69 BC, Cleopatra inherited a kingdom on the brink of collapse. The once mighty Egyptian empire was now a shadow of its former self, plagued by internal divisions and external threats. From a young age, Cleopatra was thrust into a world of political turmoil and had to quickly learn the art of survival. Egypt, once a beacon of civilization, found itself grappling with internal strife and the looming threat of Roman expansionism. The internal conflicts weakened the state, making it vulnerable to external forces. Cleopatra's ability to navigate these challenges showcased her exceptional leadership and strategic mind. Yet Cleopatra, armed with her intellect, charisma, and unwavering ambition, navigated these treacherous waters, leaving an indelible mark on the ancient world. Her education, which included studies in philosophy, languages, and sciences, equipped her with the tools to engage with the greatest minds of her time and to rule with wisdom and insight. Her life, intricately intertwined with the fates of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, two of Rome's most powerful men, shaped the course of history. Cleopatra's relationships with these influential figures were not merely romantic. They were strategic alliances that she used to bolster her position and protect her kingdom. This essay delves into the extraordinary life of Cleopatra, exploring her rise to power, her complex relationships, and her enduring legacy. Her ascent to the throne was marked by cunning and determination, and her reign was characterized by efforts to restore Egypt's former glory and independence. From the opulent palaces of Alexandria to the battlefields that sealed her fate, Cleopatra's story is one of resilience, cunning, and ultimately tragedy. Her death marked the end of an era, but her legacy lived on, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and historical inquiry. Cleopatra remains a figure of fascination, a testament to the enduring power of a woman who dared to defy the odds and leave her mark on the world. Born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, Cleopatra entered a world steeped in both splendor and ruthless power struggles. The Ptolemies, descendants of Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy the Soter, ruled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries, embracing Greek culture while presiding over a predominantly Egyptian population. Cleopatra's early years unfolded in the royal court, a melting pot of intrigue where power was a dangerous game. She witnessed firsthand the machinations and betrayals that characterized Ptolemaic politics. Her father, Ptolemy the Zoletes, was a weak and unpopular ruler, his reign plagued by revolts and financial instability. This tumultuous environment, far from sheltering Cleopatra, exposed her to the complexities of power at a young age. She received a privileged education, immersing herself in philosophy, literature, mathematics, and astronomy. Fluent in several languages, Cleopatra possessed a sharp intellect and a thirst for knowledge, qualities that would serve her well in the years to come. But beyond intellectual pursuits, Cleopatra observed the art of governance, learning the delicate dance of diplomacy and the ruthless pragmatism required to maintain power in a kingdom rife with internal and external threats. The Ptolemaic dynasty, though renowned for its patronage of the arts and sciences, was plagued by internal strife and power struggles. This period of history is marked by a series of dramatic events that shaped the course of ancient Egypt. The Ptolemies, who ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great, were often embroiled in conflicts that threatened the stability of their reign. Incestuous marriages, a common practice among the Ptolemies to maintain their bloodline's purity, often fueled rivalries and instability. These unions, intended to consolidate power within the family, frequently led to bitter disputes and power struggles. The desire to keep the royal bloodline pure often resulted in complex and contentious family dynamics. Cleopatra's own family tree was a testament to this intricate web of relationships. Her lineage was a tangled mix of alliances and enmities, each branch of the family tree representing a different facet of the Ptolemaic dynasty's turbulent history. Cleopatra's position within this web was both a source of strength and vulnerability. Her father, Ptolemy IV, had seized the throne after a period of upheaval. His ascent to power was marked by a series of political maneuvers and alliances that ultimately secured his position as the ruler of Egypt. However, his reign was far from stable. His reign, marked by extravagance and misrule, further weakened the kingdom's already precarious position. Ptolemy IV's lavish spending and poor governance drained the kingdom's resources and left it vulnerable to external threats and internal dissent. When he died in 51 BC, he left the throne jointly to Cleopatra, then 18 years old, and her younger brother, Ptolemy X. This arrangement was intended to ensure a smooth transition of power, but it quickly became apparent that the joint rule was fraught with challenges. This joint rule, however, was destined for conflict, as both siblings harbored ambitions for sole control of Egypt. Cleopatra and Ptolemy XIII's differing visions for the future of Egypt and their personal ambitions set the stage for a bitter power struggle. The Ptolemaic court, a hotbed of political maneuvering, became the stage for a power struggle between Cleopatra and her brother. The court was filled with intrigue as various factions sought to gain the upper hand in the ongoing conflict. Eunuchs, advisors, and military leaders aligned themselves with one sibling or the other, each faction vying for influence and control. These alliances were often fluid, with individuals switching sides as the balance of power shifted. Cleopatra, despite her intelligence and charisma, faced an uphill battle. Her ability to navigate the treacherous waters of Ptolemaic politics was constantly tested, and she had to rely on her wits and charm to maintain her position. Her brother's faction, recognizing her as the greater threat, moved to sideline her, eventually forcing her to flee Alexandria. This exile was a significant setback for Cleopatra, but it also provided her with an opportunity to regroup and plan her next move. Her determination and resilience would eventually lead her back to power, but the path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. Exiled from her own capital, Cleopatra refused to accept defeat. She was a queen by birth and by spirit, and the thought of surrendering her throne was inconceivable to her. Her exile was not just a physical displacement, but a challenge to her very identity and authority. She gathered her forces, leveraging her family's connections and her own political acumen to rally support. Cleopatra knew that to reclaim her throne, she needed more than just military might. She needed the loyalty and trust of her people. She reached out to allies, old and new, and used her charisma to inspire them to her cause. Meanwhile, Julius Caesar, having pursued his rival Pompey the Great to Egypt, arrived in Alexandria, drawn into the Ptolemaic power struggle. Caesar's arrival was a turning point, not just for Cleopatra, but for the entire region. The Roman general was a force to be reckoned with, and his presence in Alexandria signaled a shift in the balance of power. Cleopatra, recognizing Caesar's arrival as an opportunity, orchestrated a daring plan to meet him. She understood that aligning with Caesar could be the key to regaining her throne. Her plan was bold and risky, but Cleopatra was never one to shy away from a challenge. According to legend, she had herself smuggled into Caesar's presence rolled up in a carpet. This dramatic entrance was not just a means of gaining an audience with Caesar, but a statement of her resourcefulness and determination. It was a gamble that paid off, capturing Caesar's attention and setting the stage for their alliance. Whether or not the story is entirely accurate, it speaks to Cleopatra's audacity and her understanding of the power of presentation. Cleopatra knew that in politics, perception could be as important as reality. Her actions were designed to create a lasting impression, one that would resonate with Caesar and others. She captivated Caesar with her intellect, charm, and political savvy. Cleopatra was not just a beautiful queen, she was a shrewd and intelligent leader. Her ability to engage Caesar on multiple levels, intellectually, politically, and personally, was key to forging their alliance. Caesar, already intrigued by the young queen's reputation, found himself drawn to her intelligence and ambition. He saw in Cleopatra a kindred spirit, someone who was as ambitious and driven as he was. Their partnership was not just a political alliance, but a meeting of minds. An alliance was formed, one that would change the course of both their lives and the fate of Egypt. This partnership was a turning point in history, bringing together two of the most powerful figures of the ancient world. Their combined influence would reshape the political landscape of the region. Caesar, recognizing Cleopatra's potential as a valuable ally, supported her claim to the throne. He provided her with the military and political backing she needed to challenge her brother, Ptolemy XIII. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra's position was significantly strengthened. With Roman military might behind her, Cleopatra's forces confronted Ptolemy XIII's army. The conflict was intense, with both sides fighting fiercely for control of Egypt. Cleopatra's determination and strategic acumen were on full display as she led her forces into battle. The ensuing conflict, known as the Alexandrian War, culminated in Ptolemy XIII's death, cementing Cleopatra's position as the sole ruler of Egypt. This victory was not just a personal triumph for Cleopatra, but a significant moment in the history of Egypt. Her reign would be marked by both challenges and achievements, but her determination to secure her throne was unwavering. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. It stands as a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of the ancient Egyptians. For centuries, people have marveled at these colossal structures. The Giza Pyramid Complex is located on the outskirts of modern-day Cairo. It is home to three main pyramids: the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure. These pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs. Pharaohs were the god-kings of ancient Egypt. The pyramids are an awe-inspiring sight. They rise from the desert sands, their smooth, triangular faces catching the sunlight. Millions of limestone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, were used in their construction. They continue to fascinate and inspire people from all over the world.
The ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. They believed that when a pharaoh died, he became a god. The pyramids were built to house the pharaoh's body and possessions. Inside the pyramids are a series of chambers and passageways. These lead to the burial chamber. The burial chamber was usually located deep within the pyramid. It was designed to protect the pharaoh's body and belongings from tomb robbers. The walls of the pyramids were often decorated with hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs are ancient Egyptian writing. These texts told the story of the pharaoh's life and his journey to the afterlife. The pyramids were also symbols of the pharaoh's power and divinity. They were a way for the pharaoh to show his people that he was a god on earth.
The construction of the pyramids was a massive undertaking. It required the labor of tens of thousands of skilled workers over many years. The exact methods used to build the pyramids are still debated by scholars today. Most experts believe that a system of ramps and levers was used to move the massive stone blocks into place. The blocks were quarried from nearby sites. They were transported to the pyramid construction site using wooden sledges and rollers. Once the blocks were in place, they were carefully shaped and fitted together using copper tools. The ancient Egyptians were masters of geometry and engineering. The pyramids were built in stages, with each layer of stone added on top of the previous one. As the pyramid grew taller, the ramps used to move the blocks would have had to be extended.
The ancient Egyptians were skilled astronomers. They used the stars to tell time, track the seasons, and align their temples and tombs. The pyramids of Giza are no exception. They were carefully aligned with the cardinal points. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned almost perfectly with true north. This is an incredible feat of engineering, especially when you consider the tools that were available at the time. Some scholars believe that the Egyptians may have used the stars to achieve this level of accuracy. In the Great Pyramid, there are two shafts that extend from the king's chamber to the outer surface of the pyramid. These shafts are aligned with specific stars, suggesting that they had a symbolic or religious purpose. The connection between the pyramids and astronomy highlights the importance of the stars to the ancient Egyptians.
The pyramids have captivated the imaginations of people for centuries. They have been the subject of countless myths, legends, and conspiracy theories. Some people believe that the pyramids were built by aliens, or that they hold hidden chambers containing ancient secrets. One of the most enduring myths is that the pyramids contain a curse. This curse is said to befall anyone who dares to disturb the rest of the pharaoh. While there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of a curse, the belief persists. Another common myth is that the Great Pyramid of Giza was a granary used to store grain. This theory was popularized by the Greek historian Herodotus. However, archaeologists have found no evidence to support this claim. While many of the mysteries surrounding the pyramids have been solved by archaeologists and historians, there are still some unanswered questions. We can only marvel at their ingenuity and skill. The pyramids offer a glimpse into the beliefs and values of ancient Egyptian society. The ancient Egyptians were deeply religious people. They believed in the afterlife and the importance of preserving the body after death. This is evident in their elaborate burial rituals and the construction of the pyramids. The pyramids were not just tombs for the pharaohs, they were also symbols of the pharaoh's power and divinity. The pharaoh was considered to be the intermediary between the gods and the people. His authority was absolute. The construction of the pyramids was a massive undertaking that required the labor of thousands of workers. These workers were not slaves, as is often depicted in popular culture. The pyramids continue to fascinate and inspire people today, offering a window into a lost civilization.
No discussion of the Giza pyramids would be complete without mentioning the Great Sphinx. This colossal statue, with the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh, stands guard over the pyramids. It is a symbol of strength and wisdom. Carved from a single block of limestone, the Great Sphinx is a masterpiece of ancient Egyptian art. It is believed to depict the pharaoh Khafra, the builder of the second largest pyramid at Giza. The Sphinx's enigmatic smile has intrigued visitors for centuries. Over time, the Great Sphinx has suffered significant erosion due to wind and sand. However, restoration efforts are underway to preserve this iconic monument for future generations. The Sphinx was more than just a decorative element of the Giza complex. It was believed to protect the pharaoh's soul in the afterlife.
While the pyramids of Giza are perhaps the most famous tombs in Egypt, they are not the only ones. In the New Kingdom period, pharaohs began to be buried in the Valley of the Kings, a remote valley located on the west bank of the Nile River. The Valley of the Kings contains the tombs of some of Egypt's most famous pharaohs, including Tutankhamun, Seti I, and Ramses II. Unlike the pyramids, which were highly visible, the tombs in the Valley of the Kings were hidden underground in an attempt to deter tomb robbers. The tombs in the Valley of the Kings are just as lavishly decorated as the pyramids, with intricate carvings and paintings depicting scenes from Egyptian mythology and the pharaoh's life. These tombs offer a wealth of information about ancient Egyptian beliefs and practices. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter was one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century.
The pyramids of Giza are not just relics of the past. They continue to play an important role in Egyptian culture and identity today. They are a source of national pride and a major tourist destination, attracting millions of visitors each year. The Egyptian government has taken steps to preserve the pyramids for future generations, implementing measures to control tourism and reduce pollution. The pyramids are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for their outstanding universal value. The pyramids have also had a significant impact on popular culture, inspiring countless books, films, and video games. They are a symbol of ancient mystery and human ingenuity. From the ancient Egyptians who built them to the tourists who marvel at them today, the pyramids have captivated the human imagination for millennia. They stand as a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and the desire to leave a lasting legacy.
Archaeology has played a crucial role in unraveling the mysteries of the pyramids. Through careful excavation and analysis of artifacts, archaeologists have been able to piece together a more complete understanding of how the pyramids were built, who built them, and what they meant to the ancient Egyptians. One of the most important discoveries in recent years has been the uncovering of the workers' village at Giza. This village housed the skilled laborers who built the pyramids. The discovery of the village has challenged the long-held belief that the pyramids were built by slaves. Archaeologists have also made significant discoveries inside the pyramids themselves. Using non-invasive techniques such as ground-penetrating radar, they have been able to identify hidden chambers and passageways. These discoveries have shed new light on the internal structure of the pyramids and the purpose of different chambers. The study of the pyramids is an ongoing process. As technology advances, archaeologists are able to explore these ancient structures in greater detail, uncovering more secrets about the people who built them and the world in which they lived.
The pyramids of Giza are more than just ancient tombs. They are a testament to the power of human imagination, ingenuity, and the desire to create something that will last for eternity. They stand as a symbol of a civilization that valued knowledge, skill, and the belief in a life after death. For centuries, the pyramids have inspired awe and wonder in those who have seen them. They have been the subject of countless myths, legends, and works of art. Their image is instantly recognizable around the world, a symbol of the enduring allure of ancient Egypt. As we continue to study and learn from the pyramids, we gain a deeper appreciation for the achievements of the ancient Egyptians. These colossal structures stand as a reminder of the power of human collaboration, the importance of preserving our cultural heritage, and the enduring fascination with the mysteries of the past.
The Nile River flows. It has been the lifeblood of Egypt for millennia, nurturing civilizations along its banks. From the earliest settlements to the grand cities of the pharaohs, the Nile has witnessed the rise and fall of empires. Time, like the desert winds, shifts the sands, and the relentless passage of time erases some memories while preserving others in the golden grains of the desert. The sands whisper stories of ancient travelers, merchants, and warriors who once crossed these vast expanses. Yet some things remain. The pyramids stand. These monumental structures, built with precision and purpose, have stood the test of time. They are a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the ancient Egyptians. Silent sentinels, guardians of secrets. The Sphinx, with its enigmatic gaze, watches over the pyramids, guarding the mysteries of the past. What secrets lie beneath its stone exterior? What stories does it hold? They whisper tales of ancient Egypt. The hieroglyphs, carved meticulously into stone, tell stories of gods and kings, of battles and triumphs. They are the voices of a civilization that once thrived in the heart of the desert. A civilization of power, a land of pharaohs. These rulers were not just leaders, they were considered divine, chosen by the gods to lead their people. Their influence extended beyond their lifetimes, leaving a legacy that still fascinates us today. These were not just kings, they were gods on earth. Tutankhamun, Ramses II, Cleopatra. Each name carries with it a story of power, intrigue, and legacy. Tutankhamun, the boy king whose tomb revealed untold treasures. Ramses II, the great builder and warrior. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, whose beauty and intelligence captivated the world. Their names echo through history. The stories of their reigns, their achievements, and their downfalls have been passed down through generations. Immortalized in scrolls and carvings, they ruled a land of innovation, a place of art and beauty. The ancient Egyptians were pioneers in many fields, from architecture to medicine. Their art, with its distinctive style, continues to inspire and captivate us. Their stories offer us a window into the past, a glimpse into a world both familiar and utterly extraordinary. Archaeologists continue to uncover new findings, each discovery adding a piece to the puzzle of ancient Egypt. Let us journey back to the time of the pharaohs, to uncover their secrets, to walk in the footsteps of those who built these magnificent structures, and to understand the world they lived in, to understand their impact on our world today. The legacy of ancient Egypt is all around us, in our art, our architecture, and our understanding of the world. By studying their history, we gain insight into our own. 1922, the Valley of the Kings, a place of scorching sun and hidden tombs. Here, archaeologist Howard Carter made history. He unearthed a treasure, the tomb of Tutankhamun. It was a find for the ages, imagine untouched for over 3,000 years. The tomb glittered with gold, it was filled with treasures, a golden death mask, chariots, furniture, all meant to serve the boy king in the afterlife. The world was captivated. Tutankhamun's tomb wasn't just about riches, it revealed ancient Egyptian beliefs. They believed in life after death. The tomb's contents were to help Tutankhamun in the afterlife. Each item had a purpose. Each piece told a story. We see the intricate beliefs of the ancient Egyptians, their understanding of the cosmos, the importance of rituals. Tutankhamun's tomb became a time capsule, a portal into a lost world. Tutankhamun's reign was short. He died young, yet his impact is undeniable. His tomb sparked a global fascination with ancient Egypt. It ignited a desire to understand this ancient civilization. His story reminds us of the power of archaeology, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring allure of ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun, the boy king, continues to fascinate us. He invites us to explore the mysteries of the past. Ramses II, the pharaoh who became a god. Ramses II, a name synonymous with power. He ruled for over 60 years, a reign unmatched in Egyptian history. Ramses was a warrior, a builder, a king determined to leave his mark. From a young age, he led armies. He expanded Egypt's borders. He battled the Hittites, a powerful empire in the north. Ramses was a master strategist. He secured Egypt's dominance. The Battle of Kadesh. A clash of titans, the Battle of Kadesh, a clash of empires, Egypt against the Hittites, chariots thundered, arrows filled the sky. The battlefield was a cacophony of chaos and valor, where the fate of two great civilizations hung in the balance. The Hittites, known for their formidable military prowess, faced the might of Egypt, led by the indomitable Ramses II. Ramses, outnumbered, fought with unmatched ferocity. He rallied his troops. His leadership was a beacon of hope amidst the turmoil. With every command, he inspired his soldiers to fight with renewed vigor. The Hittites, though numerous, were met with the unyielding spirit of the Egyptian warriors, driven by their pharaoh's unwavering resolve. He turned the tide of battle. In a moment of strategic brilliance, Ramses orchestrated a counterattack that caught the Hittites off guard. The Egyptian forces, fueled by their leader's courage, pushed forward with relentless determination. The battlefield, once dominated by the Hittites, now saw the Egyptians gaining ground. While not a decisive victory, Ramses claimed it as such. The battle ended in a stalemate, but Ramses' portrayal of the event was one of triumph. He masterfully crafted a narrative of victory, ensuring that his people saw him as a conquering hero. This strategic storytelling was as crucial as the battle itself. He returned to Egypt a hero. The streets of Egypt were filled with celebrations. Ramses was welcomed with open arms, his people rejoicing in what they believed was a monumental victory. The pharaoh's return was marked by grand parades and festivities, solidifying his status as a legendary leader. The Battle of Kadesh was immortalized. The events of the battle were etched into the annals of history, depicted in intricate hieroglyphics and carvings. These records ensured that the tale of Ramses' bravery and strategic genius would be remembered for generations to come, not just in victory, but in propaganda. Ramses' portrayal of the battle was a masterclass in ancient propaganda. He used art and inscriptions to shape the narrative, presenting himself as the undisputed victor. This manipulation of public perception was a testament to his political acumen. Ramses ensured his legend lived on. Through monuments, statues, and inscriptions, he cemented his legacy. The story of the Battle of Kadesh, as told by Ramses, became a cornerstone of his enduring legend, a testament to his leadership and vision. Ramses, in stone, a legacy etched for eternity. Ramses II, one of the most powerful and influential pharaohs of ancient Egypt, left an indelible mark on history. Ramses wasn't just a warrior. He was a master strategist, leading his armies to numerous victories and expanding the borders of Egypt. He was a builder on an epic scale. Temples, monuments, cities, his architectural achievements were unparalleled, transforming the landscape of Egypt. All bear witness to his reign. Abu Simbel, This magnificent temple stands as a testament to his vision and ambition, a temple carved into a mountain. The sheer scale and precision of this construction project are awe-inspiring, showcasing the advanced engineering skills of the ancient Egyptians. Its colossal statues of Ramses inspire awe. These statues, towering over visitors, were designed to project the pharaoh's divine power and eternal presence. His legacy is etched in stone. Every carving, every hieroglyph tells a story of his reign, his achievements, and his divine status, a testament to his power and ambition. Ramses II, the God King. His reign was marked by prosperity, monumental building projects, and a strong centralized government. He understood the power of image. By depicting himself as a god, he reinforced his authority and ensured his subjects' loyalty. He ensured his name would be remembered for millennia. Through his monumental constructions and the stories inscribed on them, Ramses II's legacy continues to inspire awe and admiration to this day. Section 4, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh's enduring allure. A queen born of turmoil, destined for greatness, Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Her name evokes intrigue, romance, tragedy. She was born into a dynasty in decline, yet Cleopatra rose to power. She became a legend. Cleopatra was intelligent and charismatic. She was fluent in several languages, a skilled diplomat. She understood the shifting political landscape. Rome was the rising power. Cleopatra knew she had to secure Egypt's place. Love, power, and the fall of a dynasty. Cleopatra aligned herself with Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony. These were not just love affairs, they were strategic alliances. Cleopatra fought to preserve Egypt's independence, but her ambitions made enemies. Octavian, Caesar's heir, saw her as a threat. Their conflict led to war. Cleopatra and Antony were defeated. Egypt fell to Rome. Cleopatra's reign was over. Cleopatra in modern imagination. Cleopatra's story is one of ambition, of love and loss. She has captivated artists for centuries. Shakespeare, Hollywood, all have tried to capture her essence. Was she a cunning seductress or a shrewd ruler? The truth, as always, is more complex. Cleopatra's story reminds us that history is written by the victors. She was demonized by Roman propaganda, yet her intelligence and strength shine through. The sands of time continue to shift, yet the legacy of Egypt's pharaohs endures. Tutankhamun's treasures still captivate. Ramses' monuments stand as testament to his power. Cleopatra's story continues to fascinate. These pharaohs left their mark on history. They shaped our understanding of ancient Egypt. Their stories remind us of the power of the past, to teach us, to inspire us, to connect us to the long chain of human civilization.